Hey everybody, welcome back to the Planeswalker Coach channel. I'm your host, Paladin Robin. Folks, we are doing this Planeswalker review for you guys today. And before we get into this one, of course, this one is about Grist, the Hunger Tide. Before we get into this one, we want to make sure we thank Webcore. Webcore has been great to us. They've given this one to us so that way we can do this video for you and you guys can have all the information that you want in order to make an informed decision on whether you want this one here to add to your collection. Okay, so thank you, Webcore. You guys have been great. Guys, let's take a look here on your screen. We have Grist, the Hunger Tide. You can see here we got 92 for health. This may seem kind of surprising to some of you because we've seen a lot of these Planeswalkers recently that have 100 plus, 120 plus. I think the last one we just saw had 130. That was kind of on the bigger side. This one is on the smaller side. And I think one of the reasons for that is this one, as you'll see, is really good when it comes to gaining life. You'll have to find some cards in your collection that will gain life to kind of support this. But this one will do some of that on its own. And you can see it in the video that we'll show. We'll get into that in a few minutes. But this one, it seems a little low, but you know what? You can find ways around that. Alright, let's take a look at this. These are the mana bonuses. We got +6 for the green and black, which is awesome. And everything else has a little bit of a minus. As you can see, we got a -1 for the blue, a -1 for the red, and then a -2 here for the white. So definitely when you play this one, you'll try to be making sure that you get the green and the black going. And you're going to want to stay away from the white, obviously, as much as possible. Alright, now folks, let's take a look at these abilities here, and let's start with Swarm of Vermins. For 4, you may destroy target non-token creature you control. If you do, create a Golgari insect token and reinforce it 3 times. Then convert 3 gems to loyalty gems. This is what the Golgari insect looks like. Nothing new. If you guys have played this one before, you kind of can see that it's basically the same Golgari insect that we've seen in past sets. So really interesting one here. I think this one is good with creatures that you can kind of use in combos that give you that benefit when they die. So you can punch into the search when this creature dies, and you can see a good list of them. One of the ones that I definitely like with this ability here is Aklazot's Deepest Betrayal. That's a good one because when it dies, it transforms into a land that converts for you 3 black gems at the beginning of your turn. So that's going to be useful. It also returns itself to the battlefield. So that's super cool. You're going to be able to use this one, take Aklazot's off the battlefild. You're going to get that land that converts black for you, and then it's going to bring it back. So that's a really good one. I do think there are some other ones. Ojer Kozlum is kind of the same thing. That's a really good one. Same thing, only thing is it does the green instead of black, and then it brings it back into play as well. So good one here. There's a few other combos. Suchi, the Cave Guard, plus Portal to Phyrexia is kind of a good one. Suchi, if you know that one, you'll have that one on the battlefield. This one, you can destroy it. It'll give you 23 mana for free. And then Portal to Phyrexia will bring it back so that you can do this the next time. And really just pretty much load up on your 23 free mana for your hand. So that's really cool. Alright, here's the next one, Mouths of Subsistence. This one is for 8. Destroy the top 4 cards of your library. Return the first creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Destroy an opposing non-token support at random, and this can affect vanguards. So here's an interesting one. I think there's going to be some play for this. I think what we've seen in the past is black and green has been pretty good at destroying your opponent's vanguards, or really just destroying your opponent's supports in general. You can see this with the first black and green one that we've had, Vraska. So from the very beginning, you can kind of get this idea that this is going to be a really nice one that destroys your opponent's vanguards, that destroys your opponent's supports. And you know what? That's super helpful in a lot of games. So really, really interesting one here. It's going to help you pull a creature in a pinch. And you kind of need some luck for that. But you know what? It's good for that use as well. Okay, here's the last one. This one I think is going to be probably the one that all of you start building probably first, because this one is one that can be pretty dominant. And it's the Ultimate Leech. This one is for 18. Destroy the top 10 cards of your library. Your opponent loses X life. You gain X mana. X is the number of cards in your graveyard up to 50. So really quickly, if you take a look at this, you'll see that you can gain 50 mana. And that's pretty much, that's pretty awesome. If you can hit this all the time, you're going to have a terrific advantage. What's also interesting is that your opponent will lose life. So that's something that you can definitely use to your advantage. 50 is a good number. I was hoping that this would not be capped at 50. If it's uncapped and there's no top, I guess, for that, no ceiling, I think that this would be even better. You would probably be able to win games just by hitting this. So there's a little bit of a limitation there, but you know what? You can definitely use this one. It's a terrific ability. I think this one is great for decks that destroy a lot of cards from your library. A couple of the cards that I have just off the top of my head, Nashi, Searcher in the Dark. That's a good one that destroys X cards from your library. And X, of course, is the power of Nashi. So you can build that one up and get a ton of stuff into your graveyard. And then hit this when you get that thing fully paid off. That's going to do a ton of damage. Also, Head Shredder. Head Shredder is a good one. It's a support card. You destroy 2 cards when your first creature attacks every turn. And if a beast, a land, or a human card enters the graveyard on this turn, then you get to move that one into play for free. So that's going to be super cool. I would just say use that Head Shredder, and Gather the Pack, right? Gather the Pack is going to throw those creatures into the graveyard for you. That's going to count. My hope here, and I haven't done this, so I haven't play tested it, but I'm thinking Head Shredder with Gather the Pack. You just load up. Hopefully you get maybe 4 human creatures into the graveyard using Gather the Pack. And then, you know what, Head Shredder. Hopefully Head Shredder will bring them all out. That would be super cool. I haven't played with it yet, but I'm going to take a look at that when I get the chance. All right, folks, let's take a look at the deck that I've built here. This is the deck, and some of you may be looking at your screen and realize that there's a really nice combo here. And the combo has to do with these 3 creatures. All right, the first one I want to point out is Enduring Tenacity. Enduring Tenacity is a Glimmer Snake, kind of a creature for 4/3. The big part about this that you need to know is this one here. When you gain life, your opponent loses X life. X is the amount of life that you gained this turn. So what you're going to try to do with this is gain life, because your opponent is going to lose life when you gain it. All right, that works really, really well with this one here. When your opponent loses life, you gain that much life. This is the Bloodthirsty Conqueror. So when you do some damage, actually I should be clear, when your opponent loses life, right? So there's a little bit of a distinction. Your opponent loses life, you're gonna be able to gain that much life. And when you gain that much life, your opponent is going to take that much damage. Or actually, I should be clear again. Your opponent is going to lose that much life. I have to be really clear because there's a distinction. It kind of has to do with the way your opponent loses life or takes damage. But for the important part here is just remember they're going to be losing life. And this is the big one here. When this creature deals combat damage to your opponent's planeswalker, your opponent loses X life. X is half of your opponent's current life rounded down. So you can see what we're trying for here. We're going to hit this one. This one is going to attack. Your opponent is going to lose half of their life. When they lose half of their life, you're going to gain that much life. When you gain that much life, your opponent is going to lose that much life again, and that should be the finishing move. That should be a game over. That's why I call this one click, click, boom, because when you hit that, it's over, folks. All right. The rest of this deck is basically these 2 cards help you to pull these. You want to pull them as fast as you can. We got something here to give our creatures haste so that we can finish this thing on the first turn that we all get this together. And then some things here to speed it up. All right, so let's take a look at some gameplay. Here we go. Now, as we get ourselves going with the gameplay, what I'm hoping for is to get our creatures out. Because like I said, once we hit those creatures, once we get those ones out, that's going to be game over. And we're going to see. Hopefully, you know, this is going to be a quick video and you're going to get to see how awesome that this combo is. Hey, there we go. And you know what? I do like this one a lot. We gotta try to see if we can win it on the very first turn that this comes out. Oh, that was bad. I wish I had a better spot than that. But you know what? We'll see what we can do. But let's see. Oh, that does help there. Okay. Tell you what. Go with this. And we'll see if we can get some things going down over here because we want to make sure that we can free up this. Doesn't look like we have a ton that we can do here, so I think we'll just go with this. And that's cool right there. Looks like there's a match 5 here. It's going to cascade there. I love that. Your opponent gets their creature destroyed. That's one of the cool things with the Hall of Gemstones. Hall of Gemstones is such a great card. You see the damage there. It does help you to speed things up as well. All right, we got one of the creatures, so that's good. I'm gonna move this one up. All right, let's see what we can do. I think we'll go with this. I do want to keep stirring it up down in this area so we can hopefully try to get some cascades and trigger this. That would be awesome. Wow, the opponent is making some moves. They have another Grist here. That's cool. I think this Grist is probably one of the most popular Grists that we have that are available to us. That's definitely a very strong creature. And one that I do personally like. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Not a whole lot. I'm trying to still see if we can move things down here. Doesn't look like it. I tell you what, we'll go with this. And continue paying off that thing there. Alright, so we have something down here. That's going to be nice. That's good. Oh, Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Okay, folks, what it looks like now is that we have all 3 of the creatures. We are paying off Tempt with Discovery. It looks like we're about halfway done. So that's working out. And let's see, we got this one here. That's going to give us the ability to attack quickly. And let's see if we can get it done here, guys. If we can get it done here, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna see a real cool finish for this. Tell you what, we're gonna go with this and keep our fingers crossed. Let's see it, guys. Come on. Come on. Fill them up. Fill them up. That's cool. Wow. All right, guys, you can see why I'm super excited. We got the whole thing full. Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Another Hall of Gemstones. There we go. We're getting the creatures out. We're making moves. There we go, folks. Okay. Tell you what we'll do. We'll hit this. That will give us this guy here. We'll recharge this. We don't really need that, so we won't use it. And I tell you what, let's see what we can do. I'm really, again, hoping for something here, but it doesn't look like we have that ability. Just a really tough landing spot here. Alright, we're making some moves, guys. They play Atraxa again, but you know what? We're okay. We got them destroyed. We also had a support over here that we definitely can use. Atraxa is a great card. I do like Atraxa a lot. Let's do this. Hit Atraxa. Some good removal there. Alright, and at this point, let's see if we can go with this. That should take care of us here. Get our Unstoppable Slasher. Folks, this is pretty much game over. We're gonna click on these. It doesn't really matter which ones I choose because, like I said, this one is game over. You have your 3 creatures. Click, click, boom, right there. This one is over, guys. I like this deck a lot. It's really consistent, very reliable. Like and subscribe, share with all your friends. That really helps the channel. Good gaming, guys.